Imagine this. You're a pilot flying thousands of feet in the air when suddenly you see it, a craft, moving in ways that seem to defy the very laws of physics. And you're not alone. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is a documented reality, confirmed by military personnel, commercial pilots, even the US government themselves. In today's episode of Crochet and Conspiracy Talk, we're going to be taking a look at some of the wildest UFO sightings and some of the whistleblowers who have come forward in recent years to speak out on what they've seen. The real question I find myself asking is this everything they know? And why now? So make yourself comfortable and let's untangle this together. Alright, while I work on my cardigan, let's talk about some of the most compelling UFO sightings in recent history, starting with the Phoenix Lights of 1997. So imagine this. You are looking up at the night sky along with thousands of other people, and you are all witnessing the same exact thing. This massive, silent V-shaped formation moving across the entire sky of Arizona. Even the mayor, even the governor at the time says that they witnessed this as well. But the official story that was given by the military is that these were military flares. But, I mean, that does feel pretty hard to accept, doesn't it? Thousands of people misidentifying flares moving in a perfect formation. But then again, I don't know much about military flares. Maybe that is a possibility. However, this does remain one of the most debated UFO sightings in recent history, as well as one of the most witnessed, because again, thousands of people say they saw this. Okay, so that was 1997. Then we're gonna hop down the timeline just a little bit to the USS Nimitz encounter of 2004. So in this scenario, there were these US Navy pilots who were, just scanning the open sky over the Pacific when suddenly they spotted this object. It didn't have any wings, it didn't have any kind of exhaust, no real visible means of propulsion, and it was moving at these impossible speeds. The pilots who saw this described it as a white oblong shape, kind of like a tic-tac, and they said it was zipping around in ways that defied the laws of physics. So when they tried to chase it, because why not, right? It just vanished. Yeah, you heard that right. It disappeared. And then boom, moments later, it reappeared miles away. And I shouldn't say moments later, it was seconds later. That is pretty fast. This just wasn't some random eyewitness account either. This was experienced military personnel, and they said they had never seen anything like it. It would probably sound pretty unbelievable if you and I were to just hear this and be expected to take somebody's word for it, but this encounter was actually caught on footage, and that footage was later released in 2017 during some Congress trials that we'll talk about a little later on in this episode. So pretty wild, and again, pretty undeniable given the fact that we have it on footage and the witnesses are pretty darn credible. And not too long after that, in 2006, there was another incident that occurred, this time with multiple witnesses and civilian witnesses at that. So this occurred in Chicago O'Hare. A metallic disc was seen just hovering over Chicago's busiest airport. And then pilots, ground crew, passengers, dozens of people say they saw this. The object just shot up directly into the sky, leaving behind a hole. And despite dozens of people seeing this, the FAA has come out to say that that was just a weather event. Again, maybe, but come on, when do clouds just open up like that and shoot out some massive metallic object just to suck it back up into the sky like it's some kind of yo-yo? I'm not buying it, I'm sorry. But that's what they say, so that's what we're expected to believe, right? I guess so. Up until recently, maybe, because for decades, the government has been shrugging off these encounters. They've been saying they're hoaxes, or they're weather balloons, or they're classified technology. But everything's changed pretty recently. Suddenly, the US government wants to be more open about things. They weren't just admitting UFOs. I'm sorry, the new name is UAPs. They were admitting that they were real, and they were admitting that they were actively investigating them. And that, my friends, is when the whistleblowers came in and really knocked our socks off. So in 2020, the Pentagon made a move no one really saw coming. They confirmed the existence of a UAP task force. Yeah, so an official government body dedicated to studying these unidentified aerial phenomena. And with that confirmation came 3 declassified videos: Fleur, Go Fast, and Gimbal. These videos showed trained Navy pilots tracking UAPs, moving at hypersonic speeds, pulling off maneuvers that were impossible and reacting like nothing human-made. So then, in 2023, things got even wilder, if you can believe it, when David Grush, a former military intelligence officer, testified before Congress. And he confirmed not only were UAPs real, that was barely even skimming the surface. He confirmed that we have also retrieved non-human biological remains. Yeah, you heard that right. And he wasn't alone. Military pilots Ryan Graves and David Fravor also testified, describing firsthand encounters with these mysterious crafts. Fravor, by the way, was one of the pilots involved in the USS Nimitz incident. So this wasn't just some random guy off the street. This was a highly trained military personnel who was saying, yeah, this is real. So why now? Why is the government suddenly okay with talking about this? Some say it's public pressure. People want answers. But let's face it, how often do people wanting answers actually get us answers? Other people think that this is probably more like controlled disclosure. You know, they are more likely maybe drip feeding us the truth, so we're ready when the big reveal finally happens. So the question remains, what are they still not telling us? One thing is for sure, this conversation isn't going away. The more we learn, the more questions we have. And we really aren't sure still, are we? Are we alone in the universe, or has the truth been hidden from us all along? And if disclosure is happening, what's the next step? Full transparency or just another cover-up. In part 2, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the more common conspiracy theories and beliefs behind UFOs, aliens, their existence, and more importantly, what they really want with us. So what do you think? Are we finally on the brink of full disclosure? Are these whistleblowers really telling us everything that we know? Or is this all just another layer of misdirection? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button if you're interested in a good conspiracy chat, because trust me, folks, we are just getting started on this. Can't wait to see you guys next time.